I will be explaining an easy technique I use to install the needle bearings associated with the intermediate gear from a Dana 18 transfer case for a 1965 Scout 80. In front of me is the intermediate gear shaft, 48 needle bearings, 3 washers, 2 thrush washers, an intermediate gear, lock plate, and screw with lock washer. Also, I've made a 1/4 inch dowel that I'll be using in this process, which will fit inside of the gear. First, I have to drop a washer into the gear, followed by the wooden dowel. Now to this, it'll take me a little while. I have to put in the needle noses, and it's very simple. All you do is drop them in. Because of the dowel and its position, you really do not have to worry about them falling to the side or anything, because they will all fall directly straight down and be in line. Okay, I'm in the shop now, and I'm going to complete this video by showing you the final steps that you take to install the intermediate gear into the transfer case housing. One of the things that I didn't mention from the start, always be sure you use some type of assembly glue, and it has a tackiness to it, and also it does provide some type of lubrication to the bare metal when you install it into the transfer cases or any engine application, and then the temperature does rise, this grease will dissolve. I'm going to be putting the thrush washers into the transfer case. You always put the copper side facing outward to the gear, and they should stick or adhere into the case, and I do the same thing with the other side. And at this point now you have your thrush washers attached to your transfer case. And just make sure that they're lined up. All right, now this next step, I'll be putting the gear in. Sometimes it goes well, sometimes has a tendency to knock the thrush washer out. Hopefully I won't do it this time. So you pick it up, making sure that the dowel stays in place, which keeps all of the washers as well as the bearings inside of the gear, which is what you're looking to do. Lay it on the gears, you set it in. The intermediate gear has slipped into place, held in place by the wooden dowel, which you can see I had to just push it over a little enough, just enough so that would hold the gear up in place. Now the next step that you have to do is basically using the intermediate shaft, you will go to the rear of the transfer case. You'll put the intermediate shaft in to the rear of the transfer case, making sure that the interlock key is aligned up so that when you do put it in, you will be able to use the interlock screw to hold it in place. You will use a hammer and you'll lightly tap it. As you can see from this side, you'll see the dowel will slowly come out, being replaced by the intermediate shaft. I just wanted to show everybody how simple it is to replace the needle bearings in the intermediate gear for a Dana 18 transfer case. Thank you.